Hello everyone, it's Becky here from Ivy's Corner. I am here today to draw a new tangle for you to put onto my little lesson, YouTube lessons. I recently attended Zen Again over in Connecticut in the USA. It was amazing. I will put a little link into the description of this video for a link to my blog where you can read all about my time there. It was a fantastic event, and as I think is quite common at these CZT gatherings that are hosted by Zentangle HQ, there were some new tangles which were introduced to us all, and I'm going to show you one of those today. This is one of my favourite new tangles that was released at Zen Again 2025, and this one is called Aiposaat. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is named that because if you write down Aiposaat, which I will do for you now, it's essentially a way of writing the Zentangle adage, anything is possible one step at a time. So that is the tangle we are drawing today. It's a really fun one. I really like it. It's kind of got a feel of Ing about it, the Zentangle tangle Ing, and also a little bit of Cubine as well. And it's a real fun one to draw. I've got my Micron pen here and my 2-inch tile. This is quite a small tile to draw this tangle on, so I'll do my best for you. I've moved my pencil and my tortillon away for now. I'll be using them in a minute to shade. But the first step that we're going to be doing for this particular tangle on this small tile is to start off with a zigzag. So you want a fairly bold zigzag. It doesn't have to be even. But there you have. I've done mine kind of crazy, a little bit all over the place, and that's fine. So that's your first step. Now the second step is kind of twofold. You want to work on the top of your zigzag and then the bottom of your zigzag. I suppose if you turn it around it would also be the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to create these kind of like wonky diamond shapes by joining the top point of your zigzag with the next top point of your zigzag by adding in an angle. So a little bit like a diamond or a kite shape. I'm going to do that with each of them. Now because my zigzag is a little wonky, you know, it's not going to be perfectly even. There we go. So you end up with kind of these like diamond spiky things. And then the next thing I'm going to do is exactly the same, but I'm going to turn my tile and just repeat that process on the other side. Here. So we have our diamond shapes. Like so. That one went a bit funny, but that's fine. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to just repeat that on the other side. So we've done our top part of our zigzag here with like another zigzag on top. We're going to just join these 2 points but going down. So we're going to kind of create like a little square or like another diamond sort of shape inside these arrows here. And then turning your tile, just joining these zigzag points again by adding an angle on the other side. Like so. So there you can see we have these kind of squares atop these arrow shapes pointing up and down. The next step is to join this new kind of lower point of our square here with the bottom of our original zigzag. So we're having 2 more triangles. I'll do that with all of these ones on this side. Like so. Turn my tile and then just repeat the process. So the bottom of this square that we've created with the bottom of our original zigzag, where these lines sort of all converge. Like so. And you can kind of see here the similarities it sort of has to Ing, I think, if you're familiar with that tangle. The next step, we're going to do some aura-ing. So we're going to aura the inside of these squares that we've created. They sort of sit atop these kind of disappearing towers almost, they look like. And we're going to just do a fine aura on the inside of these squares, or diamond shapes, or whatever shape yours are. And just repeat that on all of these 4-sided shapes. like so. So you end up with these kind of aura'd squares. I'm turning my tile and I'm doing the same on the other side of my zigzag. You can see here how mine are not uniform. My zigzag was a little crazy to begin with. And I have 4 on one side and 3 on the other. So there are my aura'd squares. Next up, we're going to be essentially drawing a fragment of the tangle cubine. So if you're familiar with that tangle, you will know exactly what I mean. But to draw this kind of little cubine fragment, what we're going to do is just going to join the top and the bottom of our newly aura'd square here. And then we're going to draw another little, I suppose it's auraing this side of this square and this side. So we have another little square in the corner and we're going to ink that in. Now cubine is one of my favourite grid tangles, and I have actually done a tutorial video on it on my YouTube channel, so if you need to go and look that one up then you can. But we're just going to add these little cubine fragments in to our little squares here, and you can see how it really starts to give it some depth and dimension. They really look like they're disappearing down. It's a good idea is thinking at the topmost point of your outer zigzag, joining and kind of continuing this line here that joins the bottom of your zigzag within your aura lines. If that makes sense. I'm going to turn my tile and do the same thing on this side. So if you imagine I'm going to continue this line, but ignoring this aura line around the outside. So I'm going to join these 2 points together and then add in my ink, my square of ink here. The same for this. And you really can see how cool this looks, I think. It is a super fun one to draw. So there is your basic Aiposaat. I'm going to show you the way that they showed us how to shade this at Zen Again, which is kind of similar to a shading technique they brought to the table in Project Pack 25, which was the 2024 Christmas project pack. And for that particular shading technique, Maria and Rick were showing us how to shade alternating spaces. So I'm going to shade this section here, and then I'm going to shade this section here, and then this section here, alternating these triangular spaces and shading a different one at the different end each time. I'm only just adding a little bit of graphite to the very edges, because then when I come back with my tortillon, I'll be moving the graphite through. So I'm just gently encouraging the graphite, and it's kind of going to meet in the middle. Because this is in a tangle that doesn't have a right up or down, it's a fun, effective way of shading it, because you can turn it up either way and it will still look like it's the right way up. I'm shading this interior section first, and I'll show you how I will also just add a little bit of shading to our kind of cubine elements of this tangle. I'm going to shade the opposite part. So you see this section here, I've shaded this part here at the top. I'm going to add my shading to the opposite part of my cubine here. Same here, and same here. And then turning my tile. This is the one I've done here, so I'm going to do the opposite side. Like so. And then just soften. And quite quickly we have created this awesome new tangle, which I hope you enjoy and have lots of fun with. I particularly like this one. This is one that really appeals to me. I think it looks really cool and it's really fun to draw. So let me know. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you give it a try. Don't forget that you can tag me on social media. You can use the hashtag Ivy's Corner, and also don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. I'm going to be doing a few more of the new tangles from Zen Again 2025, so look out for those, and I will see you next time.